So let's do a quick selection reaction video to Ireland, to Wales. I've seen the Welsh team. This Irish one I haven't opened up yet, so I'm going to do it a bit live, mix it up a bit, have some fun. And welcome to this video supported by Sports News Blitz, who give great opportunities to young aspiring sports journalists. So check them out for great content. Let's start with Ireland. Clicking on the article, one change, okay, and two rookies on the bench. Okay, we'll have a look at that in a second. Ireland, of course, very disappointing against New Zealand. Didn't get going at all. It was a mess at the breakdown both sides, but Ireland couldn't get their game going and they'll be absolutely gutted. So I wondered if there'd be more changes, or you could say, look, you are the best players, have another chance. If they underperform again, I imagine there'll be a lot more changes. But anyway, let's have a look at the article. He's unveiled his Ireland team as Andy Farrell, and we've got Robbie Henshaw replacing Bundy Aki. Okay, is that injury? I don't know. Aki was very quiet. He was unusually quiet in that game, so it could be a straight replacement. Henshaw is a hell of a player, of course, and maybe a little bit more skillful, a bit more attacking, a bit less direct, I guess. So we could see some serious ball playing there. That'll be interesting. And then it says selection gets more interesting on the bench with the uncapped duo, the Leinster players, of course, of Thomas Clarkson. Okay, so we had O'Toole, who was going to be out injured, concussion. We wondered if Tadhg Furlong would be back, which would be great. He's not, so Clarkson was kind of in a shadow squad who was kind of training with them, but unofficial. So he's been called in. So it's going to be Bealham starting, I'm guessing. Haven't got to the list yet. Clarkson coming on, of course, that does make it a little bit weaker, a bit less experienced. Massive game for him against Argentina. And Sam Prendergast is on. Now, that was the way I had it when I did my video. I thought we'd give Crowley another go, although many of you said no, he should go as well, or you should have Frawley starting. But I thought you had to make some sort of change, and Frawley's introduction off the bench was absolutely horror show. It was absolutely terrible. Prendergast is probably the next Irish 10. The question is when. So let's see how he goes when he comes on. Big debut for him, a lot expected, a lot of pressure as well. Other bench changes. Okay, Baird is in, Casey's in. Okay, great. Those were two of the changes I'd gone for in my selection as well. I don't think you can go without Ryan Baird. He's that good. And it looks like Henderson has dropped out. And yeah, Henderson wasn't very good when he came on. Baird's much more dynamic, can play second row, of course, as well. Casey, I think, offers more impact off the bench than the ageing Conor Murray, who's still, got good skills, good experience, but he's not the explosive 9 that Craig Casey is. Then we've got sub-loosehead Cian Healy. He's still there, and he's going to match Brian O'Driscoll to be the most Test cap player. I mean, Healy has had such longevity, it's unbelievable. Let's have a look at this team then. So we've got Keenan, Hansen and Lowe again. Hansen getting another game, getting back into it. That is Farrell's best back three, and he's giving them another role. We've got Henshaw with Ringrose, which I always like to see. They play so well together. Crowley's going to want to get this team going, want to get the attack going, because he was disappointing, and Gibson Park made some uncharacteristic errors as well. Kelleher should be better for a game under his belt, because he looked a little bit knackered at the end. Bealham looked very knackered because he had to come back on, but he's a good player as well. They're sticking with McCarthy and Ryan. I wondered if they'd mix it up. Ty Burn staying at 6. He didn't have his best game, and he's normally amazing. Van der Fleer, Doris. So very similar starting 15, as they said in the article. Clarkson coming on the bench. There's a big risk there potentially, but they had to do it because Furlong's not fit, O'Toole's not fit. Baird, I think, is a great call there. Very interesting to see he's come on kind of as the second row replacement. He'd be a great second row, I think. He's played in the back row, of course, for Ireland many times, but we've still got Peter O'Mahony. Plenty of you guys saying his time is maybe up, but he's sticking in there. And then Casey, Prendergast, Osborne, that is a very dynamic 3 backs to come on, so that's exciting. Is it going to be too much for Argentina? Well, you'd think they're going to want a big response. Argentina are pretty much full noise. Matera's back from Argentina as well, so it's going to be an absolute cracker, but Ireland will be baying for blood. They're going to want to show that they are a quality team, which they didn't show against New Zealand. So let me know in the comments what you think about all those selections. So last week against Fiji, I was pretty excited by the balance of this Wales team. I expected pretty good things from it, and it started so well. That first 15 minutes or so was looking really good. the shape was good, Mason Grady was coming off his wing, smashing holes, and it was all looking so good up until Tommy Raffel's yellow card, up until Mason Grady got forced off injured, and it looks now he's got surgery, so unlucky. And then we had that blunder of Sam Costello trotting on instead of Ellis Bevan, and then it all went a bit downhill. Some inspired performances from the Fijian individuals. I wouldn't say it's a team, they were amazing, but goodness me, their individuals unbelievable. Caleb Muntz was on fire. Josh Tuasova just throwing around the young Welsh backs like they were frisbees in a park. Just crazy stuff, and it just all went wrong, and they couldn't get that win. Now, in this game against Australia, they absolutely could win, but they're going to have to play at their absolute best because Australia are going to be very much buoyed by that win against England. They scored some amazing tries. Now, they have made some changes that I had suggested in my previous selection video. For example, starting Jack Morgan at open side for a bit of extra carrying power. Not that Rafael was that bad, apart from the yellow card, of course, but he does give those metres after contact, really helps them get the gain line. And then we've got Eddie James on the bench, so that's that physical presence back. Now, Mason Grady's replacement is Tom Rogers of the Scarlets. He's definitely on form. He's got a serious X factor in attack, but he's not massive, so it's definitely a smaller backline with only really Max Llewellyn as the big guy, so Australia know who's coming on the straight line, that's for sure. A replacement at 6, which a little bit surprising. Plumtree, if he isn't injured, a bit tough on him because I think he's played quite well. But the replacement, James Botham, maybe is that little bit beefier, maybe a bit more powerful of a 6, but I think he'll be absolutely fine. I would have been happy with Plumtree. And it's a much safer bench with 3 backs, although I'm still not overly sure they need Sam Costello because you've got Ben Thomas who can move to 10 and Eddie James could come to the centres, and then you could have a massive centre pairing of Llewellyn and James. That could be quite exciting, but doesn't look like we're going to see that on the bench as well because we've got Thomas Williams who's got a shoulder injury, which is such a shame. Roger Williams comes on and he's 31 years old, thought his international career was probably over, but it's not. Ellis Bevan, who played well in the summer anyway, he starts at 9, so I think that's okay, and then pretty much it stays as it is. So that back line, that back 3 of Winnett, Rogers and Murray is on the small side, very nippy. I think they're going to make good decisions, but I'm a little bit worried. Thomas got chucked around a bit in the backs there. Anscombe is kind of a stand and deliver 10. He's not going to help them too much, so they're going to need the forwards to give them a decent platform because I don't think they're going to be smashing too many holes. Thomas Lake and Griffin I thought went well in the front row. Definitely their first choice. Archie Griffin developing into a very nice young tight head. Lake looked very explosive. If they can get him going forward, again, they could do some good stuff. Rowlands and Beards are very experienced, but of course they are very, very slow, and it does pain me somewhat to watch them play sometimes. Both of Morgan Wainwright, again, they could be very abrasive, so if they can get into that good shape, I think they've got a nice attacking system. They've got plenty of pace, could score some good tries, but Australia are going to score a bucket as well. Could be a really entertaining match. I am worried by the bench, of course, that Elias Smith-Azarati, not sure it's that special. Shawinza has got loads of potential. We haven't seen a massive performance for Wales yet from him. Maybe this could be the one. Then Rafael and Williams, Costello and James, with Costello probably coming on, or hopefully coming on at 10 this time if he comes on, and James into the centres. So it's a decent side, but again, plenty of experiments, and they're going to need to have a big performance for the full 80. They're going to need that bench to seriously step up because Australia are going to absolutely fancy this one. So comment down below. Tell me what you think of this selection. Are they going to win? Like, subscribe. That would be awesome. And I'll catch you next time.